Bradley and Abrams conducted a brilliant operation in the Kursk area. They're going on the offensive. In the buildings on the left are Russian positions. Bradley fires the Bushmaster gun. The walls of the buildings are blown to pieces. At the same time, Abrams attacks. He fires his first shot from a distance. Then he moves closer and shoots the building at point-blank range. The tank moves forward to destroy the enemy hideout. It's right here. The Ukrainian tank is taking up a position right in front of it. Several shots destroy the occupant's position. The whole operation is controlled by the command center. The Russians have reacted quickly to this attack. The ATGM shot misses. The Ukrainian tank needs to escape. Farewell shot. From the first person, we can see how the enemy artillery is firing at the tank. The AFU decides not to linger here and successfully escapes. Retreating, the Ukrainians noticed movement in the field. Here, in a wooded area, is the enemy. The Ukrainian tank, keeping its distance, fires several aimed shots. Mission accomplished. This trick from the AFU will definitely surprise you. These are the Russian tanks. But AFU soldiers have boarded them. The APC does not even suspect such twist. The AFU let them get closer and shoot them at point-blank range. The second Russian APC was driving along the road. The Ukrainian APC drove straight towards them. It turned out that the AFU had captured an enemy APC and decided to deceive the occupants. We see Russian symbols on it. The AFU opens fire with a machine gun. The Russians could not expect this, and therefore weren't ready. Pay attention to the distance. The enemy vehicle is destroyed. The occupiers set up a firing position in the house. Under the cover of machine gun fire from their APC, Ukrainian soldiers land near the house. They exit the IFV and take a strange package with them, while the machine gun continues to fire to suppress them. Ukrainian soldiers mine the enemy's fortifications. After a successful mission, the troops evacuate and leave the point of contact. The explosives go off, and the building literally folds inward. The Russians have run into another trap. Russian vehicles are moving in a large convoy, including tanks, APCs, BMPs, and cars. The column breaks up. Mortars are fired upon by the AFU Mavic. No hits so far. The drones damage them first. But the attack is still on. The enemy has been spotted on the right flank. The drone flies out to them, a precise hit to the back of the APC. Next, Javelin stops the tank. Drone hits the next group of enemy. It's a precision strike, after which we see an incredible explosion. This tank is now nothing but dust. Another tank has separated from the others. After that, it was finished in a unique way. It was burned with a thermite. Detonation occurs. Hull parts and burning shells are scattered in all directions. The FPV flies right into the open hatch of the Russian armored vehicle. The explosion tears the occupier's equipment from the inside. Next to be destroyed is this tank named Miki. I'm not going to argue, Miki burned in a very epic way. A frontal strike stops the enemy's equipment, and another kamikaze drone attacks from behind and finishes it off. The last enemy hit a mine and turned into atoms. The next day, a drone flew in to finish it off. Look, these are the very mines that destroyed the tank. The drone drops explosives right on them. After the attack, this is the landscape we see. A lot of occupiers' scrap metal is burning brightly. And those who are not burning yet Ukrainian drones have come to finish them off. It's better now. But the Russians don't want to stop. The drone wounds the first target. It's killed immediately. The second tank continues to move after the hit. Look, the Russians left the door open, probably to make it easier to burn the tank. That's what's happening. The third target has been hit head-on. It's a Russian MTLB. Now, the fire, slowly, is turning it to ash. Pay special attention to this hit. The drone hits so well that the APC is blown into small pieces. A Ukrainian FPV approached the tank from behind and detonated the ammunition on the first attempt. Take another look at this one. This drone has flown inside, but still, the APC is enveloped in fire. But flying in is still more effective. The letter Z symbolically burns together with the APC. Later, the same drone destroyed a tank. 2 FPVs simultaneously flew into a Russian armored personnel carrier. After detonation, it was engulfed in flames. A Ukrainian FPV flew to the target at low altitude and hit the occupier's equipment. The Russian armored vehicle was driving, hiding behind a forest belt, but an attentive Mavic pilot spotted it and sent an FPV to intercept it. The hit of the kamikaze drone caused an impressive explosion. A spectacular fireball rose above the trees. The flaming hull pieces flew forward. 2 more APCs are spotted in the field. Javelins are already aiming at them. The first enemy advances on the mine. The second APC notices the mine at the last moment and turns its hull slightly. But on the other side, there was also a mine. Next, javelins from different sides are firing at the target. Ammunition is already exploding inside the APC. From the first person, we see several drones finishing what they started with an epic strike. Pieces beyond repair. Not far away, another kamikaze drone flew unnoticed to the enemy vehicle and carefully flew into an open hatch. This requires jewelry precision, but the result is worth it. Ukrainian kamikaze drones stop a convoy of Russian vehicles. A dense series of hits destroys the occupier's vehicles. But it's not over. A Russian tank is hiding nearby. It is attacked by the first drone, which hits the target. The second hits the opposite side of the hull, where the ammunition is located. The explosion is so strong that the armored hull is shattered and scattered in mangled pieces. But the main victory was the discovery of the Russian Kosta radar system. Its destruction significantly worsened the strength of the occupier's positions. The AFU's FPV finds and destroys a Russian Buk-M-3 anti-aircraft missile system. The occupiers are hiding another Buk-M-1 air defense system, but the spectacular fireworks from the detonation of its ammunition show that the plan has failed. The Ukrainian drone has found its target. The 96L6 radar system can no longer be tracked by the trail of fire, as it coordinates the occupier's forces. But the Ukrainian Armed Forces Mavic finds the target, and the kamikaze drone eliminates it. From a distance, the power of the explosion shows that the strike was as effective as possible. Good old-fashioned drops are no less impressive than FPV. Here, the grenade bounced off the body and hit the open hatch. This is enough to eliminate the armored vehicle. The FPV loses signal early on, but the acceleration speed gained directs the drone to the target. A powerful explosion instantly envelops everything in fire, and a ball of black smoke rises above the trees. The Russians' Zemedeli-type vehicles are extremely dangerous. It is true that it is difficult to find them, but the AFU Maverick was lucky. He recorded the return of such a vehicle to the shelter of a forest belt. A single hit was enough to destroy even well-protected vehicles irrevocably. The ammunition of such a vehicle includes mines that are installed in special compartments. Therefore, the detonation of such a target is a unique spectacle. The entire forest belt is enveloped in dense smoke. Mavic records that the neighborhood is burned to the ground. A Russian tank blocked a railroad track. It was well protected, but several Mavics are watching it from different angles, so the pilot of the kamikaze drone knows which side is best to approach from for a strike. Nearby, a Ukrainian FPV flew into an occupier's BMP from behind. The fire from the explosion was so fast and intense that it engulfed the entire target in seconds. Attempts to break through at high speed are futile because they attract attention, and when the Russians' vehicles stopped due to an obstacle, they became a target. Now the hull of the destroyed Russian vehicle will become part of the barrier. Another Russian vehicle was destroyed by an FPV at the edge of the forest. The fire showed that the strike was accurate.